So finally, you get to fulfill your dream and you get offered a professional contract with Peterborough. How did that opportunity come about?
So the opportunity came about, so I went to the event again in the second year.
This summer event that you mentioned?
Yeah, this is the next year, the following year.
Yeah.
And I did really well. And Peterborough asked me if I obviously wanted to come in. So I went to Derby first.
Okay.
So I went to Derby with somebody else who was also got selected. We went together. Both did well, but we didn't get anything. Then we went to Peterborough together. He was a year older than me, the other lad. And then, yeah, I ended up doing a trial with Peterborough where I trained and I did quite well. And then there was a game, which was a pre-season friendly, but there was a first team player who just signed, he was playing, so there's quite a good turnout. Sir Alex Ferguson was there because obviously Son was the manager of the first team. And then we had our 21s manager, but the first team manager was obviously involved as well because this was the first year Peterborough started the 21s, so there was a lot of trialists. So we was 2-0 down at half time. And at this point I had converted myself into like an attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
So there was a winger who was doing quite well. And Darren Ferguson's come in the dressing room at half time and he was like, you know, you lot are like nowhere near it. Like some of you guys want contracts. Like none of you gonna get contracts. Like the only person, the only person who's gonna get close to getting something is this other lad called Andrew. So I come up for the second half, 2-0 down. Scored the first goal. Scored the second goal.
You scored the first and the second.
Scored the first. Scored the second.
Amazing.
Assisted the winner. And then as soon as I did that, I knew I was getting signed.
Yeah, of course. 100%.
So I went back to where I was staying. And like, I knew I was getting signed.
Yeah. And what year and how old were you around this time?
So I think I had just turned, I think I was 19 turning 20 or 20 turning 21.
Yeah. So when you signed that pro contract, what went through your mind?
I think when I got offered it, it was obviously a proud moment, but I've been offered a pro before and it never materialized. So it's kind of waiting for the pen to actually go to the paper and be registered. It was obviously a proud moment because I've worked, you know, a long, let's say 20 years to kind of get to that moment, which has obviously helped me a lot to where I am today. So yeah, it was a proud moment that was probably overdue really.
Yeah.
But to finally get there felt good.
Yeah. Did you feel like you finally made it? Or was it pressure? Was it still pressure?
I don't think I felt like I made it because I wasn't in the first team. I had a feeling, you know, I'm now in the right environment to go and kick on. Because Peterborough's a great club. So yeah.
So what surprised you most about pro football, competition-wise?
I mean, yeah, pro football is very demanding. There's a lot of good players. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of people who don't want you to do well. There's a lot of mental strength required that I probably didn't have at the time. There's more disappointments than there is success. Those are probably what I'd say.
So you're saying that a lot of people don't want you to do well. Would you say that's players, coaches, friends?
I don't think any of this is personal, personally, but I'd say in football there is like, especially when you're new to a club and you know you've kind of come in with a lot of confidence and you've done well. There is always somebody kind of trying to take your shirt, which is normal. That's football. Or, you know, there's always a manager who has a favourite or, you know, different things like that I can dive more into. Yeah.
Okay. So did you get the chance to play any minutes with the first team?
I didn't, but I trained with them a lot at the later stages of my contract, where I did quite well. But I never played. No, I never played with them. I played in training games with them.
Yeah.
But I never made a first team appearance.
So what was it? Was you playing for under 23s or was it under 21s? How was their system?
Yeah, it was 21s.
It was 21s there. Okay then. How ruthless is it behind the scenes at pro level?
It's ruthless. It's something that I feel if you've got somebody good in your corner who can kind of tell you exactly where it's at, that helps. I don't know if the people in my corner at the time had that knowledge, but everyone was at a different stage of their journey. Whereas now, from what I know, my advice to myself probably would have been different. But that's nothing against the people who were looking after me at the time because I've got a lot of time for them. So, yeah.
Would you say you was getting enough game time with the reserves?
Yeah, I think I had a fair shot at it, to be fair. I was training with the first team when I first went in, and I had an injury which kept me out for my first proper injury for 5 weeks, which really in the grand scheme of things is nothing. But I struggled to recover from that because transitioning from obviously kind of part-time football to full-time professional football was difficult in itself, and then to get back fit after that layoff was tough. But yeah, I'd say yeah, it's a demanding environment, and I played a decent amount of games. Probably played 15 games that season out of 25 into 23s, and then I went out on loan for a period in step 3, which was something I didn't want to do, whereas really it probably should have been something I wanted to do.
At this level, what kind of teams was you playing?
With the 21s?
Yeah.
So my first game was at Ashton Gate against Bristol City. Played against Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. Played against Everton 21s as well. Played against Wolves 21s. Played against Crewe 21s. Played against Burnley. Played against Sheffield United as well. Yeah, probably so.
Play for a lot of good teams, basically. Yeah. So you're starting a lot. You're training consistent with the first team. At this time, do you feel like they had a plan for you?
I'd probably say no, because I was training with the first team in the latter stages of my contract, which would probably advise that they're having a look at me over than having a plan for me. Because if they had a plan for me, I would have already signed my following year.
Yeah.
But to be fair, at Peterborough, they actually left everyone to the end of the season to make decisions. So I'd probably say no. I probably didn't take my opportunity there, to be honest.
Why do you think it only lasted 1 year?
Because normally people sign professional contracts at 17, 18.
Yeah.
I signed my first pro at 19, 20, so I was already a year above where I should have been. So when it come to the end of my contract, they said to me, if you was a year younger, we probably would have kept you, but I think I was 20 or 21 at the time. And by then you need to kind of be in the first team at that age.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question again. If you could relive one moment being pro, what moment do you remember at Peterborough?
If I could relive one moment at Peterborough, I'd probably say my trial game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because scoring 2 and assisting for the final goal.
Yeah, and obviously Sir Alex being there.
Yeah. So he watched you.
Yeah.
Okay, you must have felt proud, innit? Yeah. So going from club to club, who was the best player you've ever played with?
I probably have to say probably a list of 5, because I don't want to upset anyone if they watch this. But I'd say